Go. As Juan Crookshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking in for a daily Move Swiftly thought, giving you a perspective on teamwork that you will not get anywhere else, where we do not teach you how to rise to the occasion. We teach you how to fall to your level of preparation. Meaning, basically, in layman's terms, gotta stay ready so you don't gotta get ready. And that brings me to today's Move Swiftly thought / announcement / football season way of doing things over here in the Move Swiftly world. If you're not familiar, if you're new to around here, if you're new to this channel, just know I'm all about taking the innovative teamwork lessons that you learn on the football field, that get applied on the football field, and aligning them with businesses and business owners so they have a staff, a group of employees that moves just like a championship high school or youth football team. So that's what we do around here, point blank period. And obviously, given the time of this recording, it's first week of September. We got both college football and NFL football officially kicked off and getting going. There's a lot of material that I have to sift through, a lot of examples to teach you business owners in terms of how to utilize the game to make it so you have a staff that moves as cohesively as that championship team. So all that being said, today, Faith-Based Friday is no longer going to be something that I do on a public platform. Again, I go to church every day. In fact, I actually increased how much tithes I'm paying, so that we're all good on that front when it comes to just church stuff. But I'm no longer going to do a Faith-Based Friday. We're going to replace it with what I'm going to call a first whistle Friday, which I'll dive deeper. Well, I'll basically go over. So tonight, I'm going to be doing the entire, I believe it's Maryland taking on Northern Illinois, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to be doing that entire 3 hours of that game. So go over to Film Session Saturday to watch that game as I document it and, talk about it. That's first whistle. That'll be something along the first whistle Friday. But more so, this is where I'll start talking about some of the headlines going into the weekend of games. All right. So there will be a live stream on this channel where I'll be talking about or reacting to some of the last week's headlines and some of the headlines and the storylines going into this weekend's of games, and that'll be on this channel. That'll be on the live stream where I'm just talking about some of the storylines, and then I'll be, you head over to Film Session Saturday for you to watch the actual game if you're more interested in watching the actual game, the play-by-play breakdown. That's gonna happen. Then Film Session Saturday is gonna go as it always has been. The only difference is it's no longer gonna be at that Duffy's. As much as I liked it, it just was a little bit too distracting for me when it comes to what it is I want to get out the channel. It's possible, but it will have to be more of structure, more setup when it comes to the live stream doing it at Duffy's. It will be a game. So tomorrow we're going to do Penn State FIU. So that's 2 college football games that I'll be breaking down. Maryland, Northern Illinois, and then Penn State taking on FIU. We'll be breaking that one down. It'll be an interesting game. A lot of the storylines in terms of where I come from up north, and then you see down south Florida football. It'll be an interesting matchup, interesting in terms of just what the people and the players and the people involved. Myself as a Michigan fan, I try on a Saturday, if the game is a 12 o'clock game, I'll do it. But if it's after 12 o'clock, usually don't have too much time to do it. I want to just enjoy college football without having to kind of actively get. And then whenever I'm watching Michigan football, to be 100% honest with you, it's hard for me to stay focused and stay fair and not react to what I'm seeing, because I'm speaking from the heart and the mind, because I am a kind of somewhat of a psychotic Michigan fan. And then Sundays roll around. I'm gonna, instead of Stay Hired Sunday, we're gonna replace that with the Final Whistle Sunday, where I go back to, it's gonna be back on this channel. I go back to what it is I said on Friday, what the storylines were, and then what the storylines happened after the Saturday and after the Sunday and all that kind of stuff, and just break that down, some of the things that made major headlines in terms of the football world on Sunday, and then get you ready for the week and what it is we're going to be discussing throughout the week. So it's a lot, all right? It's a lot going on in the Move Swiftly world, especially when it comes to football season. And I tell you that because of the importance, and I bring all this up. I'm telling you the first couple of things that we have to take away from today's Move Swiftly thought. Number one, the importance of being flexible enough and being good enough to recognize when something needs to be changed and being able to change it swiftly, right? Change it immediately. Change it right now before you fall too deep into the weeds and start to, have to get the sense where you start to have to do things and stuff like that. You don't want to get to that place. You want to be flexible enough to make changes and make it so you're keeping the main thing. The main thing, all right? Number two, systems, guys, systems. It's really was a simple replacement of the systems. Just take the system of Faith-Based Friday, take the system of Film Session Saturday, take the system of Stay High Sunday, and replace it with something that has a very similar similar theme to it, except it's just the content is a little different. And I couldn't do that if there wasn't a solid system on the day-to-day basis that I was working towards throughout the offseason. And this is the same thing we tell players, same thing we tell coaches, same thing we tell anybody that is out of their season. Hey, make sure you're using that time wisely to get better, develop some systems in which you can constantly see yourself getting better, feel yourself getting better, get a sense that, hey, I got more confidence in terms of what it is I'm doing. I understand where my goals are, I understand where all the things are I need to be. So that really is the two main takeaways from today's Move Swiftly Thought. All right, so again, see you all later on this channel where I'll be breaking down again, debuting First Whistle Friday today, and then go over to Film Session Saturday because the game, the Maryland taking on, I believe it's Northern Illinois, my hometown team, Maryland, taking on Northern Illinois. That'll be debuting tomorrow morning, first thing tomorrow morning on Film Session Saturday, so you get to watch that if you'd like. And then, we're going to go through Saturday and Sunday and take it in stride, baby. So all that being said, the main website to check out to dive deeper into all of my work, especially when we're talking about employee development and making sure you're utilizing the game to get the most out of your staff and all that, it's makeyourmove.com. That's MakeYamove.com. One-stop shop for your teamwork and your self-development needs. As one Crookshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker checking out. You guys continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.